Blood leaked from the monastery walls like sap from a wounded tree. Anna watched it pool around her bare feet, still fresh and warm from its previous owners. The exorcists had come in teams this time, 23 of them. Their body parts now decorated the chapel like perverse Christmas ornaments, dripping onto the desecrated altar below. Miranda's spine cracked as she crawled across the ceiling, her head rotating in complete circles, black ichorous fluid streaming from every orifice. The child's flesh rippled as if colonies of insects writhed beneath it, but Anna didn't flinch. She'd seen this dance before. "Want to taste Padre Francisco's last confession, Mama?" Miranda's voice splintered like breaking glass. He whispered such delicious sins before his skull collapsed. Her laugh echoed in frequencies that made rats burst in the walls. The monastery's foundations groaned. Ancient sacrificial pits hidden beneath the stone floor began to bubble with liquefied remains of centuries past. The air grew thick with the stench of decay and burnt hair. Such power, the thing in Miranda wheezed, dropping from the ceiling in a contortion of impossible angles. This bloodline, so rich with fear, so ripe with darkness. Its borrowed face split in a grin that went ear to ear, literally, the skin tearing wetly. Anna stepped forward, her feet leaving smoking footprints in the blood. "Would you like to know what really happened to the others?" she whispered. "The ones who possessed my grandmother, my great-aunt, my sister." The entity paused, sensing something wrong. The shadows it commanded began to retreat. Anna's skin began to slough off in sheets, revealing not muscle, but a writhing mass of obsidian tentacles and ancient symbols carved into living darkness. Her eyes multiplied, covering her form in burning copper irises. "We are the Old Ones," her voices thundered. "We who fed on gods when the universe was young." Miranda's possessed form tried to scream, but Anna's tentacles shot forward, penetrating the child's flesh. Instead of hurting her, the invasion made Miranda laugh, a sound that contained millennia of orchestrated horror. Mother and daughter, perfect huntresses. Miranda's own flesh peeled away, revealing a form of teeth and void. Shall we show it what true darkness looks like? Together they unfolded into their real shapes, dimensions splitting around them like wet paper. The entity trapped between them witnessed horrors that predated creation, terrors that would make demons weep. "We planted our seed in this bloodline eons ago," they spoke in unison, their voices shattering reality itself. Each possession, each exorcism, each victim was just another step in your cultivation. Your kind are nothing but cattle, grown fat on borrowed power and false victories. The entity's last moments were an eternity of comprehension. It finally understood. Every possession throughout history had been orchestrated by something far older, far hungrier than itself. It wasn't the predator. It was just another course in an endless feast. In the aftermath, Anna and Miranda reformed their human shells, stepping delicately over the carnage. Behind them, the walls continued to weep blood, and somewhere in the dark, something ancient and patient smiled, waiting for the next fool who thought themselves a monster. "Shall we prepare the next feeding, Mother?" Miranda asked, her innocent voice perfectly restored. Anna kissed her daughter's forehead, leaving behind a mark that burned with otherworldly light. "Of course, darling. After all, we have such appetites to satisfy." Deep below, in places where reality had worn thin, the true harvest was just beginning.